Amazing.
Some girls are happy just to get a stinky pinky when they're alone, but I can't get off without having an egg tighter in my sperm rocket and a gerbil up my turd cutter. If I don't tune the tuna to get my tuna tunnel of tears slobbering from my cod cave, his disco stick is going to leave like flaps resembling a clown's pocket. The slamming makes me surge my tuna tunnel of tears all over his 8 inches of dropping pink genus. He munched on my flappy meal, even though I've been walking the red carpet for the best part of a week. It's like a Barbie doll in my
Oh,
It got me
okay,
spritzing mint mucus faster than a grease whizzle shit.
okay.
There was
Well, I'm gonna-
semen leaching from his span dagger, and I was wetter than a
No.
barmaid's elbow. We were ready for more. Leaving my panties sunny side up on the floor was the least of my worries as his giggle stick stuffed deeper into my chocolate starfish. The mixture of Mr. Hanky and Gentleman's Relish on my soft, tight anus created a delicious porthole pudding, and he was so fond of. Now, I've seen more cricks than a second-hand dartboard, but the sight of his womb raider made my vertical moisture flow like Wayne Rooney's dick in an OAP home. It was bliss having his flesh gored and shoved inside me again, stuffing my depravity cavity with a 9-iron.
Flesh gored.
I just didn't get my shame envelope splurging like it used to.
Flesh Gordon, god damn.
There was love
What was
piss
the one that
infamous
I got?
thrill
I got the
drill,
one that was like,
but I was
oh,
wetter
it was
than a
serving
Beth
cigar.
May's elbow. We were ready for more. Some girls are happy just to tune the tuna when they're alone, but I can't get off without having a 15-inch spiked vibrator in my cod crater and 15-inch
Cod
spiked vibrator of
crater?
my brown mile. The feeling of his creamy load trickling down my throat got my vertical moisture flowing quicker than a grease weasel shit. When he removed his slut slayer from my turd herder, he was pleasantly surprised to see a toilet Twinkie staring back at him. He knew I couldn't wait to chow down on a hardened fudge nugget off his blue vein custard chucker. But if I don't
What?
flick the bean to get my sex weed trickling from my gas tray, his purple beaver buster is going to leave my panty hamster resembling a bulldog in a wind tunnel.
Okay, this
Jesus
is pretty great.
Christ.
With his
Hey,
long
can I
dong
read?
silver slamming deep into my shame portal, the sensation of his battle blaster smashing my cervix made me quake with tasered slab of chopped liver.
Oh god.
After having my depravity
depravity
cavity slammed, he then produced to pound my poop chute. The mixture of colon cobra and Da Vinci load in my chocolate starfish created the delicious sphincter sauce that was so fun. He cut a giant foot-long fudge bullet on my top bollocks so he could gobble it up like a bulldog eating porridge. He munched on my piss flaps even though I had my red wings for the best part of a week.
I can't wait to lap the man fat from his ample cock. My hot pocket was trembling like a rat on acid.
My hot pocket!
He munched on my panty hamster, even though I had Aunt Flo visiting for the best part of a week. There was gentleman's relish forming from his batter blaster, and I was wetter than a well digger's ass. We were ready for more. With my piss flaps now, much like a manatee in yoga pants, he thought it was time to stop probing my poop chute. Is now the time to tell him I really need to pitch off a stink pinkle, I wonder?
Okay, mine's pretty great. If I don't dial the rotary phone, no. If I don't dial the rotary phone to get my sex weed dripping from my hatchet wound, his skeleton king is going to leave my vertical smile resembling a blind cobbler's thumb. The unrelenting orgasms from his Wensleydale thrusting my front bum make me so hard I began sweating like Mike Tyson at a spelling bee. My slime hole was trembling like Muhammad Ali on a tumble dryer. With his breed slamming deep into my Quincy ME, the sensation of his ramrod smashing my cervix made me quiver
my God,
like a taser slamming chopped liver. It was bliss having his master of ceremonies shoved inside me again. Stuffing my quim with an antique doorknob just didn't get my mountain of love pudding ejecting like it used to.
With my vertical smile now much like a ripped out fireplace, he thought it was time to start plunging my poo pipe. It is now the time to tell him that I really needed to pinch a butt nugget. I wondered. I can't wait to consume the creamy load from his skeleton king. He munched on my piss flaps, even though I'd been riding the cotton pony for the best part of a week. Hours of thrusting like this would leave any girl's Velcro triangle looking like a hippo's yawn, and I was no different. The mixture of toilet Twinkie and penis pudding in my brown mile created the delicious rectoplasm that he was so fond of.
Guys!
Rectoplasm is a great term.
The mixture of corn-eyed butt snake and love mayonnaise in my marmot motorbike created delicious rectoplasm.
You just have to go when it's time, GS.
Hours of plowing like this will leave any girl's flappy meal looking like a clown's pocket. And I was
Flappy meal?
He munched on my chat flaps, even though I was riding a cotton pony for the best part of a week. Now, I've seen more action in Hemland Province, but the sight of his veiny quim prod made my sex wee leech like a rabid dog. Leaving my panties sunny side up on the floor was the least of my worries, with his disco stick shoved deeper into my go-go channel.
The dog does not approve.
Good, now it's my turn. No! It reloaded! Fuck! I had a really good one! Fine.
Hours of rating like this will leave any girl's fur burger.
Fuck you. It is my turn. Fuck you. Inserting a 15-inch spiked vibrator into my furry cup got me squirting fallopian fish stock faster than grease shit off a shiny shovel, with his service cigar raiding deep into my whispering eye. The sensation of his blind butler smashing my cervix made me quiver like Michael J. Fox licking a car battery. I can't wait to lap the love piss from his spunk-filled spam rocket. The feeling of his love mayonnaise hemorrhaging down my throat got my tuna tunnel tears flowing quicker than snot off a whip. The thrusting makes me gush my minge monsoon all over his Stilton sword. What is this?
He munched on my roast beef platter, even though I'd been riding the cotton pony for the best part of a week. The seemingly never-ending streams of love mayonnaise emanating from his meaty member soon had me coated like plaster radiator. Hours of hammering like this would leave any girl's vertical garden looking like a werewolf with its throat cut, and I was no different. Leaving my panties sunny side up on the floor was we keep on getting the sunny side up on the floor. As his cream reaper plunged deeper into my turd murder. Now I've seen more helmets than Hitler, but the sight of his veiny quim prod made my fallopian fish stock hemorrhage like a dell waiting for Greg's to open.
Hours of
There was
like
steam and
this would
steam
move,
forming from his piss pop, and I was wetter than an Italian cruise ship. We were ready for more. If I didn't dial the rotary phone to get my sex wee seeping from my gas tray, his tenderloin truncheon is going to have fishy flaps rendering Terry White's allotment. Hours of plowing like this would leave any girl's fishy flaps looking like a hippo's yawn, and I was no different. It was bliss having his greasy slime light plunging me again. Stuffing my meat purse with a squash just don't get soft-shelled like a tuna taco spattering like it used to. Some girls are happy just to buff the muff when they're alone, but I can't get off having a squash in my ground zero grotto and a 9-iron up my other vagina.
Other vagina?
Hours of raiding like this would leave any girl's burger looking like the bathroom door in The Shining, and I was no different. Leaving my panties sunny side up on the floor was the least of my worries as this bugger king probed deeper into my tradesman's entrance. The mixture of stink pickle and Da Vinci load in my mud flap created the delicious sphincter sauce that he was so fond of. He killed the giant golden cobra on me boobage just so he could lap it up like a pig at a trough. Now I've seen more pricks than a second-hand dartboard, but the sight of his 8 inches of throbbing pink Jesus made me sex wee flow like a hungry pig at a trough.
I can't wait to devour the Da Vinci load from his cervix cigar. Inserting a light bulb into my fuck trench, he got me spouting
cervix cigar is the worst thing I've ever heard.
Within no time, I could feel the shitty Da Vinci load slobbering from my brown iron all over my fur burger. It was bliss having his Ocean's 11 inches probe inside me again, stuffing my oyster ditch with a 9-iron, just didn't get my plunge pool flowing like it used to. The rating makes my spits my vertical moisture all over his bald-headed yogurt slinger.
Why did I come back to this?
Inserting my fish into one slice toaster got me spritzing image mucus master, then grease shit off a shiny shovel. The rating makes me squirt my shrimp sap all over his bald avenger. When he removed his blind butler from his turd herder, he was pleasantly surprised to see a colon cobra staring back at him. He knew I couldn't wait to consume the colon cobra off his Ocean's 11 inches. Some girls are just happy to flick the bean when they're alone, but I can't get off without having a 9-iron in my salmon slit and a number of chilies up my other vagina. With my open-faced ham sandwich, much like my drop burrito, he thought it was time to start showing my puckered brown eye. Is now the time I tell him I really need to crown a colon cobra, I wonder?
The unrelenting orgasms from his kebab skewer hammering my herring hole made me come so hard I began sweating like a white mouse in a tampon factory. I woke the next morning with my carb cavity still frothing. I thought it was over, but his tenderloin truncheon had other ideas. Within no time, I could feel the shitty cock snot trickling from my fudge factory and all over my spam castanets. The mixture of toilet Twinkie and baby gravy in my Mavis fritter created the delicious rectoplasm that he was so fond of. By now, my tampon tunnel was oozing like a leaky tap.
Tampon tunnel? Why?
The seemingly never-ending streams of steam and semen emanating from his ramrod soon had me coated like a plasterer's radio. Inserting a Barbie doll into my oyster ditch got me splattering fudge custard faster than grease shit off a shiny shovel. The mixture of toilet Twinkie and man fat in my fart valve created
No!
he was so fond of. Hours of pounding like this would leave any girl's purple cabbage looking like badly battered roadkill. And that was no different. Now, I've been shot over more times in this Sarajevo, but the sight of his cunt stretcher made my vertical oyster slime look like a jizz waterfall.
Jizz waterfall.
Now, I've seen more helmets than Hitler, but the sight of his one-eyed monster made my fallopian fish struck tribble like a George Foreman grill. Within no time, I could feel the shitty cocksnot foaming from my turd herder and all over my panty hamster. By now, my lady town was weeping like Augustus Gloop's mouth at the sight of Willy Wonka's chocolate river. The feeling of his steaming semen flowing down my throat got my shrimp sap flowing quicker than grease shit off a shiny shovel. He rolled a giant corn-eyed butt snake on my chesticles, just as he could consume it up like a hungry hippo.
Why would you use Augustus Gloop in any sexual way at all?
Streaming. There was cock custard oozing from his skin fluid when I was wet in that English summer. We were ready for more. The feeling of his love kiss sweeping down my throat got my flange custard flowing quicker than a greased weasel shit. The rating makes me splurge my spat all over his cheese-crusted cock. Now I've seen more helmets than Hitler, but the sight of his spam dagger made my clunge drain like a George Foreman grill. The mixture of Mr. Hanky and Da Vinci load made my fart valve create a delicious sphincter sauce that he was so fond of.
My god, I feel we're mentioning that wetter than an English summer is fucking fantastic.
I've seen more helmets than Hitler.
Should I try this?
The feeling of his man fat leaching down my throat got my flange custard flowing quicker than a greased weasel shit. Inserting a gerbil into my kipper dinghy got me surging minge mucus faster than a greased weasel shit. When he removed his slitten spear from my other vagina, he was surprisingly
Other vagina? Other vagina? Guys!
Shit. He was
Yes, let's talk
pleasantly
about the
surprised to
ass
see a
pussy.
butt nugget
I'm just also gonna point out
staring back at
fucking
him. He knew I couldn't wait to devour the foot-long fudge bullet off his Wensleydale wand. When I don't fish for pearls to get my shrimp sap frothing from my ground zero grotto as a giggle stick.
It's so good.
As a giggle stick is going to leave my fishy butt, resembling a dropped burrito, with his piss pie thrusting deep into my bearded haddock pasty. This sensation of his blind butler smashing my cervix made me quake like a taser slab of chopped liver.
Oh, I'm going next.
Fucking ground zero grotto. Oh shit.
What is the DS?
The seemingly never-ending streams of custard emanating from his torpid terror truncheon soon had
Yay.
me loaded like a blaster's arena.
Oh my
You're in there,
God.
torpid. You're in there.
Are you sure it's torpid and not turgid?
Oh shit, it's turgid. I'm fucking.
Why did I know that was the word?
Because your turgid member gleaming in the sun.
Yes.
Also, can I just point out that cervix cigar is disgusting?
It is pretty bad.
This is all
Like,
trash.
It's just.
No,
so-
fuck you. Wetter than an English summer is fucking amazing.
I've
It's
seen
also
more
just
helmets
dumb.
than Hitler.
That's me.
Ground
That's
zero
me
grotto.
IRL. But it's
Fuck
like,
no.
you like
Giant foot-long
none of
fudge
you have
bullet.
vaginas, so you don't know. But when a guy hits your cervix, it's not nice. It's really painful, and like that's not like a bragging thing. And it's dumb. It's dumb.
I can't wait to
Welcome
devour
aboard,
the
Mr.
slug
Representing Everything.
mayonnaise
Sit
from his
forever.
Wensleydale wand. Within no time, I could feel the shitty man fat leaking from me ballroom knot and all over me fur burger. By now, my penis pothole was trickling
burger.
like a
Why?
jizz waterfall. Some girls are happy just to fluff the mouth when they're alone, but I can't get off without having a light bulb when me frilling pink golf bag and an antique doorknob up me old dirt road. Now, I've been shot over more times than Sarajevo, but the sight of me his devil's bagpipe made my tuna tunnel tears leak like Adele waiting for Greg's to open.
The unrelenting orgasms from his jib end slamming my fuck trench had made me come so hard I began sweating like a whore in a confessional. The feeling of semen trickling down my throat got my spat flowing quicker than grease shit off a shiny shovel. The plowing makes me flood my fallopian flistock all over his ram hog. The fucking of my brown eye was so vigorous, he soon found his two amigos joining his veiny quim prod deep within my ring piece. When he removed his chub step from my turd cutter, he was pleasantly surprised to see a corn-eyed butt snake staring back at him. He knew I couldn't wait to chow down on that stink pinko off his cum tree.
I woke the next morning with my stench trench still dribbling. I thought it was over, but his womb raider had other ideas. He munched on my
Womb Raider.
scraps, even though I'd been up on bricks for the best part of a week. Now, I've seen more crooks than a second-hand dartboard, but the sight of his brie baton made my fallopian fish stock hemorrhage like a slavering dog. Within no time, I could feel the shitty grey baby gravy hemorrhaging from my black hole and all over my panty hamster. He dropped a giant foot-long fudge bullet onto my tartars just so he could lap it up like a pig in a trough.
By now, my clearing in the woods was draining like a broken coffee maker. He munched on my Velcro triangle, even though I had the painters in for the best part of a week. The pounding makes me spritz my clunge crunch all over his Wensleydale wand. With my vertical smile now much like Terry Waite's allotment, he thought it was time to start probing my Mavis fritter. Is it now time to tell him I really need to arc a Mr. Hanky? I wondered. Within no time, I could feel the shitty love piss sliming from my poop chute all over my vertical smile.
Nice, subtle. I can hear it, Jeremiah. I know what you're listening to. I know what you're listening to.
24/7, baby.
As you should.
The giant toilet Twinkie onto my memories just so he could devour it up like a hungry hippo. I awoke the next morning with my wizard sleeves still leeching. I thought it was over, but his giggle stick had other ideas. Within no time I could feel the shitty cock snot frothing from my fart valve and all over my lunch meat. Plowing makes me flood my sex wee all over his cum tree. Now, I've been shot over more times than Sarajevo, but the sight of his chorizo howitzer made my pussy batter drip like Adele, waiting for Greg's to open. Oh, God. Fuck me.
No.
Please.
Not after that. Not after that, no.
I can't wait to devour the gentleman's relish from his sperminator. The seemingly never-ending streams of creamy load emanating from his piss pipe soon as he had me coated like a plaster's radio. It was bliss having his skeleton king plunge inside me again, stuffing my whispering eye with an antique doorknob. Just didn't get my hatchet wounds sprouting like it used to. The mixture of my sewer trout and magician's wax in my fudge factory created the delicious sphincter sauce that he was so fond of. After having my ground zero grotto fucked, he then proceeded to plow my rusty bullet hole.
By now my envelope was forming like a rabid dog. I was afraid like this would leave any girl's Velcro triangle looking like a sandblasted tomato. And I was no different. This pounding of my black hole was so vigorous, he soon found his jingly jewelry joining his tallywhacker deep in my balloon knot. When he removed his vein cane from my fart valve, he was pleasantly surprised to see a butt nugget staring back at him. He knew I couldn't wait to suck up the Mr. Hanky off his greasy slime light. Within no time, I could feel the shitty penis pudding seeping from my turd holder and over my fishy flaps.
Leaving my panties sunny side up on the floor was the least of my worries as his gristle missile rammed deeper into my poop chute. If I don't tune the tuner to get my shrimp sap leeching from my wonder down under, his all beef thermometer was going to leave my hairy goblet resembling a rich out.
Wonder Down Under is so much better with the Australian accent.
I awoke the next morning with my shamvelope still seeping. I thought it was all over, but his sperminator had other ideas. Inserting a light bulb into my oyster ditch got me spritzing tuna tears faster than the grease weasel shit. There was love mayonnaise foaming from his one-eyed monster, and I was wetter than an otter's pockets. We were ready for more.
This laughing makes me flow my Mitch Monsoon all over his blind butler. After having his whispering eyes slammed, he then proceeded to pound my poop chute. My calamari cock ring was trembling like Michael J. Fox clicking a car battery. And now my penis pothole was dribbling like a rabid dog. Now I had more heads up me than the Muppets. But the sight of his old beef thermometer made my crunch grunge slobber like a broken fridge freezer.
Inserting a Barbie doll into my clearing in the woods got me splurging faster than grease shit off a shiny shovel. I woke the next morning with my kipper dinghy still dribbling. I thought it was over, but his love muscle had other ideas. The unrelenting orgasms from his Nelson's column hammer in my cot cave made me so hard I began sweating like a white mouse in a tampon factory. The thrusting makes me spread my tunnel tears all over his love muscle. There was a cock custard driven from his one-eyed milkman, and I was wetter than an otter's pocket. We were ready for more.
Oh, God.
Oh my god, that
Lite
hurt.
on varad balhur diver son javelut di spam en glis en moi nivru. Boront me monu canyon avec un piul just napas. Un piu de mon dotier.
Who is doing this?
Kami atrefoy. Sejine fluff. Les manchons pour epnuter mislams thontono swintent dimon vibrator creator son yogurt singer chav via Twitter, mon velcro triangle could resemble un chimil rach. Yeah, I'm trying, but I am terrible at French today.
I was gonna say that's awfully. Those are some really far. Those are some really interesting eclouts in French there, dude.
He munched on my pip slaps, even though I had the painters in for the best part of a week. If I don't study English literature, I get my hair oozing from my birthday.
That's what I'm gonna say whenever I'm masturbating now. It's
His
I'm sorry, I'm
bald
studying
adventure is
English
going to
literature.
leave my pit flash resembling a shot cat. The hammering makes me pour my splash all over his purple-headed trouser snake. Within no time, I would feel the shitty Da Vinci load draining from my old dirt road and all over my flappy meal. My soft-shell tuna taco was trembling like Michael J. Fox licking a car battery. English literature.
What a word.
That's the best thing I've ever heard. That's the best thing to come out of this. English literature and what was it? What was the one that Torpo liked so much?
Wetter than an English summer.
Yes, that one too.
Now, I've seen more foreskins than a rabbi during a baby boom, but the sight of his battering ram made my clunge gunge drip like Wayne Rooney's dick in an OAP home. The rating of
Awesome.
Oh, goddamn.
Wait. So apparently there's a text-to-speech function on here?
There is, but most people
Nope.
have got it disabled.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. I wouldn't have the first clue.
There's only one person who ever abuses it. Yeah, there's
Who?
only one person who abuses it. That's fucking Catsworth.
Limited to
He's a
2,000
shitbird.
characters.
Limited to 2,000 characters. Jesus.
You could break it up into chunks.
Oh god.
Yeah, I regret saying that.
Jeremiah said now, I've seen more foreskins than a rabbi during a baby boom, but the sight of his battering
But
ram made
literally
my
don't
clunge
do it,
gunge
'cause it's
drip
actually
like
a really
Wayne
bad
Rooney's
idea.
dick in an oak home.
I'm
The
not
rating
going
of my-
to. I am full of regrets.
This is why nobody likes text-to-speech.
What? I can't hear it.
My mouth was so full of master of ceremonies and gentleman's relish. The penis pudding was draining down my chin and onto my boobage. The mixture of
Boobage!
Colin Cobra and his loved piss in my poop chute created the delicious rectal stew that he was so fond of. After having myself mouth fucked, he then proceeded to hammer my rusty sheriff's badge. The hammering of my vintage golf bag was so vigorous, he soon found his love spuds joining his skin flute deep in my brown smile. The
Schnarflo said for 12 years,
seemingly
you have been
never-ending
asking,
streams of baby
who is John
gravy
Galt?
emanating from a skeleton king
This is
soon
John
had me
Galt
coated
speaking.
like a plaster
I am the
rodeo.
man who loves his life.
God no.
I am the man
Discord
who does
keeps
not
crashing
sacrifice
my
his love or
phone.
his values.
He munched
I
on
am.
my meaty hangers, even though I'd had the painters in for the best of a week. Feeling his cock custard slobbering down my throat got my vertical moisture flowing quicker than a snot off a whip. Inserting an egg timer into my quim got
That
me floating shrimp sap faster than a greased weasel shit. It was bliss having his cum tree rammed inside me again, stuffing one of my sliced toasted with a Barbie doll just to get my gaping cabin clam splurging like it used to. I awoke the next morning with my mound of love pudding still leaching. I thought it was over, but his cum tree had other ideas.
I like how Schnoffel left.
Gone. See ya.
I'm
Fucking-
close to giving up. I actually do kind of have to study at some point.
I can't believe that Schnaffel fucking died.
When he removed his bald-headed yogurt slinger from my rusty sheriff's badge, he was
Bald.
pleasantly surprised to see a hardened fudge nugget staring back at him. He knew I couldn't wait to suck the butt nugget off his blind butler. Hours of fucking like this would leave any girl's roast beef platter looking like a shot cat, and I was no
Roast
different.
beef platter.
This was bliss having his spam javelin stuffed inside me again, stuffing my split peach like a light bulb just didn't get my cock holster splurging like it used to. He blasted a giant foot-long fudge bullet in my chest puppies just so he could lap it up like a bulldog eating porridge. The unrelenting orgasms from his cunt fledgers, thrusting my smush mitten made me come so hard I began sweating like a pedo during a prison riot.
What?
Pedo during a prison? What?
No, I think we're kind of done with this at this point. We've basically been through fucking everything we could be.